From May 3rd to 5th, the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting was held in London, UK's capital. After the meeting, all parties involved in the meeting issued a 12,000-word joint statement, which points to China concerning so-called problems of Xinjiang, Tibet, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. The statement not only slanders China for committing crimes against human rights, but also claims that China has used its economic influence to bully other countries, while the G7 vowed to strengthen joint efforts to counteract China's coercive economic policy. The so-called problems concerning Xinjiang, Tibet, and Hong Kong are all China's internal affairs. China's sovereignty and rights and interests over the Diaoyu Islands and their affiliated islands, as well as the South China Sea Islands and their adjacent waters, are fully based on facts and legal principles. Taiwan's participation in the activities of international organizations, including the World Health Organization (WHO), composed of sovereign states, must be handled in accordance with the One China principle, which is an important principle confirmed by UN General Assembly Resolution 2758 and WHO Resolution 25.1. The G7 boast themselves as democratic countries. However, according to the latest poll, respondents from 53 countries and regions regard the United States as the biggest threat to global democracy. We have not seen any indication or action from the G7 against this biggest threat ever. As a country with the most serious pandemic situation and the most advanced medical technology, the United States should focus on international pandemic control cooperation and promote the fair distribution of vaccines, instead of just focusing on hoarding vaccines and doing almost nothing in helping other countries, let alone criticizing and interfering with other countries with a superior mentality that hinders the current top urgency of international cooperation in COVID-19 control. As a group of developed countries, the G7 should do more practical things to promote world economic recovery and help developing countries speed up their development, rather than create contradictions and differences in the international community and interfere with the process of global economic recovery. China's concept of peaceful coexistence and building a community of shared future for mankind has attracted more and more countries into cooperation with China. This has not only promoted the global economic development, but also made China's development unstoppable. The Western countries headed by the United States should face up to their own problems, correct their selfish behavior in fighting the pandemic, and stop the wrong behavior of generalizing the concept of national security. The attempt to ignore the basic norms of international relations, fabricate virus excuses, interfere in China's internal affairs, infringe on China's sovereignty, and blemish China's image will never succeed.